Welcome back to the Nuxeo Security Policy course. In this video, we will create a custom security policy based upon the document confidentiality. If the document is identified as confidential, then only members of the university group will be granted access to the document. Before starting this practical case, we need several elements. First, we need the Nuxeo developer tool called Nuxeo CLI. It will help us to bootstrap our project, prepare all we need to extend the security policy contribution, and package our add-on. Then, we need our invoice document type previously created using Nuxeo Studio, which inherits from file. We created an external schema, attached it to invoice, which indicates the document confidentiality. Finally, we need a Nuxeo instance to deploy our configuration and see the results. First, I open my command line editor and run Nuxeo bootstrap multi-module contribution package to create my Java class to be used to create my security policy. It will generate a University Security Policies core folder to create the Java logic for our custom security policy, and a University Security Policies package folder where the marketplace package will be generated. Our contribution will be called ABAC Security Policy. ABAC standing for Attribute-Based Access Control. When dealing with the extension configuration, we will rely on the information provided by the documentation page as well as Explorer, which indicates our target component is org, Nuxeo, ECM, core, security, security service, extending the policy's extension point. Once our project is instantiated, we will create a Java class to create our security policy. So we dig into our core folder and create a Java class called universitypolicy.java. Let's first copy-paste the sample code from the documentation page and remove all the specific code. As explained in the previous video, we will specify in the check permission method the conditions which allow or deny the access to a confidential document. First, we retrieve the user information as a Nuxeo principal, because we will have to check the user group membership. Now, we need to execute the security policy each time we encounter an invoice. So let's put a condition on the document type of our document called doc. If the document is not an invoice, then Nuxeo has to apply the default ACL security mechanism, so we return access unknown. So if the condition is true, we have to check if the university confidential value is true. If the invoice is not confidential or null, which is the default value, we apply the default ACL and return access unknown. If the document is confidential, then we deny the access if the user is not a member of the university group with access deny. Please note, we will use access unknown if all conditions are met because Nuxeo always relies on the ACLs in the end. Then, we will keep the isRestrictingPermission method returning true value. This method allows you to apply the query transformer or the check permission to a certain type of permissions like browse, read, write. To manage security policies with queries, we make isExpressible in query return true and implement get query transformer. Basically, it allows you to build the security policy logic when searching a document. More precisely, we will add a new predicate to the original query. So we create a SQL query transformer called isConfidentialTransformer. First, we will write all predicates which will be used to create our new conditions. We will create a predicate named isNotConfidential when invoice confidential is equal to 0, which means not confidential. Another when invoice confidential is null, named isNotConfidential null. Finally, we will combine the two previous predicates in another one named invoice and not confidential using the OR operator. Now, let's modify the executed query. If the user is not a member of the university group, or if he is an administrator, the query shouldn't be modified, so we return the default query. In the alternative case, we will first analyze if there is a condition on the where clause. If it is empty, like select all from document for instance, we return all non-confidential documents. If there is a condition, then we have to edit the original query and add our condition to return only non-confidential documents. Our security policy Java class is now finished. The last thing to do is to update the ABAC security policy contrib.xml extension file in order to activate our new policy security. To make the deployment easier, we create a dependency on our main pom.xml file to add our Studio project reference. Once our package is deployed, we have created 3 documents in the platform. File standard, which is a regular file document type instance. Invoice public, which is not confidential. Invoice confidential with invoice confidential property to true. Then we create 2 users, John, who is a regular user belonging to the members group, and Justin, who belongs to the university group. If I connect as John, I can find 2 documents, either by browsing the repository or searching. Indeed, John shouldn't see the confidential invoice. If I tried to call the confidential document directly, meaning I pass through the check permission method, there is a 403 error, which corresponds to not allowed to access. Then, if I connect as Justin, I can see all documents. Powerful, isn't it? Thanks for watching.